thing. So I was searching for femininity. I was searching for strength in femininity. And I really wanted to know what the female version of strength looked like. And I, compared to the masculine version. Because I felt like I had taken the pill like a long time ago. Well, you must succeed and all this stuff. But I never felt like I was really succeeding in anything except motherhood. I felt like I I loved that, and my kids, I rescued them from drowning, and I was good at watching babies, really good at that. But I like to watch TED Talks, and I was watching this talk. It was about belly dancing, and the speaker was Keothar Darmoni, I think was what her name is. She was this beautiful woman on the TED Talk, and she was always moving her body, and she talked about she never stopped through her whole speech. She's always doing these movements, and she had talked about how she had grown up in Tunisia and in a very Muslim country, and they were covered, the women were covered. And she was like, I hate this. I'm getting out of here. This is very repressive for me. So it spoke to me, because when I was in Ketchikan, I felt like I need to get away from here. I need to run away from this. And it was sort of the same story. Like she was trying to run away from that. And then she went to the Western, I think it was Holland or something. And she went there to explore like feminism in the Western society. And when she got done with it, she felt really exhausted. Like she felt like Westernized women were just as repressed as Middle Eastern women. I'm sorry to say that. And when she said that, I felt the same way. Like I have been repressed. And it was sort of a come to Jesus moment for me. And I feel like I keep talking about God and everything, but actually I have to say that I'm actually a Democrat. I'm not like a conservative. I'm not I don't go to a conservative Bible church. I actually converted over to Lutheranism because it was a little bit more freeing than the Catholic Church. Like I felt like women in the Catholic Church we could never really get ahead, or we're just we could be nuns, but that was it. I just saw more opportunity, and I felt like I was also deeply spiritually. There could have been, I don't know, it was better for me. But but I felt like my femininity was really, as an Alaskan woman, I felt kind of beat up. And the Me Too movement, like I never stated what my Me Too was, but I have dealt with job harassment, and I was cornered by a guy every day who just told me how awful I was, and it really hurt me, and it made me so angry. And I felt very repressed. And then I grew up in Alaska. I had seen women get murdered and beat up. And I really needed a role model. How do I get out of this? I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get put down. I don't want to get harassed on the job. Once I get a job, I want to be paid well. If I have, I just it was just all kinds of of things. Like I just felt repressed. Like, here are the standards and you can't walk past that line. But there has to be a way that you and I can connect where I'm not getting hurt. You cannot hurt me. But not all guys do that either. It's just the ones where you have to say, look, you can't do that to me. This hurts me so badly. It takes my life out of me. Do you want to do that? Do you really want to do that? And I was looking for that voice, that honest voice where I could be assertive, but not like I was not like pushed over, because I felt like a lot of my life was me trying to say something I could not say because I could not get it out of my head into the world. I did not know how to do that. But with belly dancing, I could do it through my body. And I didn't have to depend on the speech. So what you're actually doing for me is you're listening to me when I go out and I converse with people, because it takes me a while to gather my thoughts and formulate them and get them out into the world. I keep forgetting. I get passed over a lot in conversation because they won't listen or they don't have the time to listen. But when I spoke with my body, then I got people's attention. But I didn't just get their attention, I got my own attention and my own power. And I felt like belly dancing taught me how to be honest and loyal and kind of a vixen and to have confidence. Because anytime you move a part of your body, it means something. You're speaking to the world. And in the Mrs. Alaska pageant, I found out something from one of my teachers, which was that I think she said about 99% of what you say is through your body. It's not through what you say. So people will not remember what you speak, but they will remember how you physically appear to them. But it's like when you look into belly dancing, it's kind of a bit like a martial art, but it's got this really cool feminine aspect of it where you're just building up your femininity. And now, before I go any further, I have to say this, because we live in an era where, we have marriage equality and like transgender issues and all of this. What I'm going to tell you is that I feel like within each person, there's a yin and a yang. So the yin is like the feminine side and the yang is the masculine side. I'm not saying this is true. It's just my own personal philosophy. But I think within certain males, they have more of a yin side and certain males are more of a yang side. So they're very, very, manly men, they've got a lot of the yang, and then men who are not quite like that, more of the gentler side. But also in women, you have the same thing. And women who are very, very career oriented, goal driven, all of these things. And they're, I guess, more masculine. I think, and then you have women who are very nurturing and quiet and, but I was kind of more of this quiet, shy type. I was growing up at a time when everybody was supposed to be masculine and I was not, so I was like, I really have to be me. But the thing is with belly dancing is that, which is so cool, is that you actually, there's a lot of transgender women, like masculine to feminine transition, who will get into this art because they haven't had the permission to do that. So they get into belly dancing, and it helps them find their feminine side, and to be more present. So I think it's the way you are is really fine. You just have to figure out where you're supposed to be, and so like belly dancing for me was like this way of like being. And I took it to my preschool, and I showed it to the kids, and it was so fascinating to me because I had one boy who crawled under a table. He was like, I'm not having anything to do with this. And then I had two girls who were really interested. And then I had this little boy who was like, oh my gosh, I love this belly dancing. And he was like really into it. And I'm thinking, well, why not? I mean, if it builds his confidence, and why not? Because there's like, if you look at a man dancing, if they really know what they're doing, it's like watching a stallion. I love to watch men dance, really good dancers, they're so much better than women, but there's so many more women who dance than men. But if you see a guy who's really a good professional dancer, he looks like a stallion to me. It's just like his body is, he just knows what he's doing, and he knows where he's taking the dance. But yeah, anyways, so going back into the body, the dance is like martial arts. It helps you to really listen to your body and listen to, if I eat this, it doesn't feel so good, if I move this way, it doesn't feel so good, so stop. So it teaches me my limitations. And then it also teaches me like, if I move my hips, I'm looking at my resources. If I move my tummy, I'm looking at my emotions. If I move my chest, I'm looking at my business side. How am I taking care of myself? If I look at what I'm doing with my head, that's my divine calling. So every time I do a a movement, I'm thinking about how I'm living my life. And then the hands are like